Actually, hold on. That's not. Yeah. There we go. Now people on stream can actually see what I'm showing. Yeah. Yes. Yes. We are in fact the boys and the lads. All right. So yes, we want to load. Yeah, in the classroom. And oh, okay, that's fine. Okay, so she always goes on digressions between announcements, so it goes slowly. Oh, right. The teacher that walked in, hit her head on the podium, fell unconscious, and by way of calling her Tiger, she came back from the dead. Mm, 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 mm. It just makes me laugh that if you don't want people calling you Tiger, how about you not be wearing them stripes? Oh yeah, I agree. It's just if she hates the nickname, stop giving people reasons to associate you with said nickname. But anyways, true. And then just keep on going with the Tiger. I will not mourn your death for your transgressions. Mhm. Also, is Tyga actually her first name or is it just a nickname? Right. This makes sense. Okay. Okay. Carry on. Not sincere in the slightest. Hmm. Goto sits back down. He doesn't seem particularly remorseful. Too easy. When Fujine says she gets mad. Doesn't matter if it's with a student or with a teacher or a student. And that is as close to a serious warning as she's ever going to give, but Goto doesn't realize it. Hey, full throttle or no throttle. Got it. Fujine waves and leaves. So that was Taiga Fujimura, the teacher of Room 2C. Her nickname? Tiger. That might seem like a joke, but it isn't. She got the nickname because it sounds like her name Taiga, but Fujine hates it. Okay, alright. According to her, it doesn't sound feminine. Oh, is that why you're upset? But she got the nickname because of how she acts, so she kind of had it coming. Yeah. As Fujine exits the room, the first period teacher enters. Because Fujine takes up almost all the homeroom time, mornings are always like this for our class. So another day of classes ends. There are many types of students. Some immersive some immerse themselves in club activities. Some hurry home, and some hang out in the classroom after class for no particular reason. I don't really fit in any of those categories. Now, like, it's not as if I don't do anything at all. The biggest reason I quit the Kyoto Club is in the first place was that I wanted to prioritize my part-time job. It's been 5 years since I started part-time jobs to earn money for living expenses on my own after my old man died. And when you do so many different jobs, there are some requests you just can't say no to. Today is one of them. I was asked to help restock some product for a bar since they wanted as many strong helping hands as they could get. Though I'm sure I don't have to go help, the bar's most likely asking everyone as an excuse to gather some folks and hang out afterwards. There are two options. I should. Another fork in the path. Well, if you're going to say all of that about your part time job, you want to do that. The school will, in fact, keep chugging along, albeit barely, without you, for now at least. Feel bad for Issei, but I should probably prioritize my part time job. I never promised I would go, but since I said I'd try, I should probably keep my word. Also, what I was thinking, we kind of did get the most important, urgent stuff done this morning, so yeah. He said, I know, as one would expect of the young scion and soon to be heir of the temple up in the mountain. Yeah. You're right. You're right. It is a lot to give up at the ripe young age of, I'm going to assume, 18. Yeah. Yeah, it's hilarious. uh, One day we'll see one of those guys in action, know the context on them. But until then, we can just be content with the funny laughs. I'll get you next time, He Man. I agree. I'll keep on pushing. All right. So Issei bids me a stiff farewell and leaves the classroom. I shouldn't dawdle. I may not have been given a specific time, but now that I've decided to go to my part time job, I need to hurry over to the neighboring town. Wow, 30,000 yen just for a quick, quote unquote, afternoon? Not too bad. Like an unexpected windfall or a stroke of good luck. Copenhagen, where I work today, is like a bar and supermarket that sells liquor all in one, and it takes a lot of people to restock inventory for this place. It's a it's a job that needs at least 5 people, but the more people you have after that makes everyone's lives easier. Yet the boss is always like, he mentioned it so casually to the part-time workers and seemed to think it was enough, but I'm the only one who showed up. The only other people there for inventory were me, the boss, and Neko, his daughter. All hell broke loose. Oh, dang. Neko was scolding the boss. Neko was scolding the boss, yet I was the only fool who came, ready to be sacrificed. Dang. The two of them enthusiastically applauded when I showed up, and then we all decided to organize the storage room as much as possible. And then we somehow finished the inventory in 2 hours. Oh, wow, that's pretty good. The boss remarks as he eats a brown cake and surveys the afternoon's work. That is true. Once you've been doing something for a while, you kind of get proficient at it or something. Dang. The boss stuffs his face with rum cake. Next to him, Neko is nursing a bottle of warm sake. The owner has a sweet tooth, while the daughter is the drinker of the family. They sure balance each other out well. And yeah, I agree. A few slices of cake is not worth doing a whole bunch of inventory. He weighs three 10,000 yen bills at me. It's more than I'd give for a week's worth of labor, not 3 hours. I hesitate, but I take whatever I can get. Just as I'm about to leave Copenhagen, Neko stops me while she is curled up in front of the heater resting. Dang. True. Very important. Oh, dang. All y'all sick trying to run this store. Oh, dang. They got beef. I wonder what happened. Neko makes circles with her fingers in the air as she drowns for sake. Or downs for sake. She seems to think I'm a dragonfly or something. I managed to walk back from the neighboring Shinto to Miyama without realizing. Nope. I walked through the still darkened town. It's about 7:30. There should be people out and about at this hour, but there are no signs of anyone around. There was a crime committed in Miyama the other day. Oh no, what happened? A burglar murdered someone, I think. Dang. Must be why there's no one around and why the school curfew has been set to 6 o'clock. Ah, that makes sense. Yeah. Wonder people are avoiding walking around at night. Probably not safe to let Sakura go home on her own anymore. Fujine might be fine, but Sakura's house is in the residential area on the other side of town. Guess I should walk her home starting tonight. I can't quite believe what I'm seeing. I must be wrong. I sense a presence on the uphill path I was sure was empty. Whoever it is, they're standing still and look to be peering down at me. Hey, I remember you from the opening. I unconsciously hold my breath. Oh, no die. Hey. A girl with silvery hair smiles and walks down the path without making a sound. As she passes by, oh shoot, hold on, how do you know? What type of intel do you have on me, little girl? Huh? That's weird. What she says makes no sense. I climb up the hill and reach my house. The lights are already on, which means Sakura and Fujine are home. Huh? I don't even know what I said. uh, Usually it's a conscious choice to have myself inducted. Oh yeah. Accurate. Fair enough. I agree. This is where that belongs. Oh gosh. The moment I step into the living room, I smell the delicious aroma of dinner. Sakura and Fujine are both eating at the table. Tonight's meal is chicken stewed in cream sauce. It's put Fujine in especially good mood. Yeah, interesting. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I can understand why the dub did it, but exactly. Like, how else are people supposed to become more cultured by watching anime without forcing them to, watch the sub and, learn how to read or something? uh, oh, yeah, that's a good point. Gotta watch that one. 'Cause she sounds like she would do it. Exactly. Go to my room. It's a sparse room compared to the storehouse, but it's still decorated enough, considering I don't have any particular hobbies. So most of them are random things Fujine just left here. After I wash my hands and change, I head back to see my food on the table. Sakura is as humble as ever. Sakura's cooking skills have vastly improved over the past year. My cooking is no match for her Western foods. My Japanese dishes might be a little better, but neither of us is any good at making Chinese dishes. I'm glad to know she's improving, but it's also a little depressing when the pupil surpasses her master. Interesting. That's right, she did. And it was enough to surprise Archer. Or was it just him making some, which surprised her? I can't recall. Yes, yes, that's what it was. Hmm? I agree. A country, even, which, given the size of China, is almost synonymous. Fair enough. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know much about Lubu, but at least the little bits that I've learned of him from playing other random games, he did not strike me as the most galaxy brain person. really is delicious. The longer you cook chicken, the tougher the meat gets, which is why you need to take the extra step of grilling the chicken to a crisp to seal in its juices and flavor. This requires exceptional skill and is something the clumsy Fujine would never be able to manage. Get wrecked. I know. Fujine, who's been concentrating on her meal until now, pipes up. Yeah, I don't see you trying to pay his bills as his supposed guardian. She looked to be in good spirits thanks to Sakura's meal, but the moment she sees my face, her mood sours. Whoops. Dang. I agree. What a great guy. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Because especially since um Kiri, yeah, Kirisugu, there we go, was usually gone a lot, traveling here, there, and everywhere around the world. So, like, there really wasn't the maximum amount of time possible for uh Shiro to pick up all of his habits, you know? Yeah, yeah. It's like I've been with you for 3 months now. You know where the bathroom is, you know where the grocery store down the street is, you know the neighbors. Bye. I said bye. I'll bring you back a souvenir. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Seeing Fujine eating so heartily makes me wonder what exactly she's worried about. Yeah. Yeah, you don't see it very often. Fujine grins menacingly. Oh no. Like, yeah, silly question. Of course, I've always been like this. I'm a very consistent person, you see, since day one. That's true. That's true. Well, we don't talk about the time before the incident. Exactly. Exactly. I glare at the two. Oh no. Also, I just noticed Fujine's cup has a little tiger on it. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay, okay. And so now she's trying to yeah, leave that persona in the past. I am responsible teacher like person. And how each and every one of them will cut you in half. But they don't have an edge. I said they will cut you in half. Sakura presses on like an attentive student. Wow. Uh huh. Mm hmm. Ah, yes, yes. Mm, okay. Interesting. I agree. I agree. Yeah. That's usually how you see that phrase appearing a lot. True. That's true. All right. Interesting. Thanks for the translator's note. Quit bringing up the past, Fujine. I can't really jump in though because it's true. Besides, becoming a hero of justice is still my goal. Okay. Dang, get wrecked. Times two. Critical hit. Fujine is shocked. I thought she would just lower her head and repent, but girl said thirds. She holds out her rice bowl, asking for a third helping of dinner. We relax after dinner, and it's almost 9 o'clock. There's still some time before my evening training, so I guess I'll walk Sakura home, hang out with Fujine, rest. Well, you literally said earlier that starting today, you're going to start walking Sakura home, so that's what you're going to do. Hopefully, you do not get assaulted by a small child again, saying you're going to die soon unless you change your life. Start shaping up. Imagine someone actually walking up saying that to you word for word. You're going to die unless you find a blonde woman. And then they just walk off. Like, what? Yeah, right. And it's like, will any blind person do, or does it have to be someone in particular? They keep walking, disappear in thin air. Oh, well, guess I'll die. uh, Sakura. I haven't thanked Sakura for cooking dinner yet, so I should talk to her. Sakura just finished cleaning up, and she's in the living room getting ready to go home. Like every day, too, from the other side of town. That's crazy. Sakura purses her lips awkwardly. Did I say something wrong? Makes sense. Makes sense. I was just thinking like, well, what's the problem? I mean, like, yeah, you learned about how he likes to help people and never really thinks of himself, but that shouldn't be much of a reason to say no. But yeah, that's true. The brother that doesn't like him all that much. Yep, exactly. Yeah. The other party, however, I forgot. Sakura's older brother Shinji doesn't really like Sakura coming over to my place. Dang. He can't say much because Sakura says she goes to Fujine's house, but me taking her home might cause problems. I don't care if Shinji accuses me of something I didn't actually do, but I don't want him taking it out on Sakura. Sakura is uncomfortably silent. Knowing Sakura, she probably couldn't even lie about the fact that I walked her home. Dang. An English teacher wearing tiger stripes suddenly pokes her head through the door. Calling Fujine a girl might be a bit of a misnomer. Dang. I know, and she doesn't even know it yet. There is a reason Fujine is the teacher in charge of the Kyoto Club. She was trained by old man Fujimura in Kendo, and her fifth rank designation makes her deadly, literally and figuratively. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. As I say, modern speak for modern times or something. Yes, as long as it's okay with you. Fujine takes Sakura's hand and starts to leave. Sakura beams and leaves the living room. I can tell my cheeks are burning red. Understandable. Honestly, Sakura just takes me by surprise a lot lately. It's perplexing. Time sure flies. Not so long ago, she was just my friend's little sister. Now I find sometimes I can't quite look away from her. Yeah, it do be like that sometimes. I'm so pathetic. I always thought of Sakura as being like family, but I can't seem to readily accept this change. But you see, it's just a matter of perspective. Now, instead of being like family, you can make her actually family. That is how my day ends. Just before midnight, Shiro and Mia must perform the daily routine of utilizing magecraft. I cross my legs, take my position, and regulate my breathing. I try to empty my mind. I ignore everything around me and turn my focus inward. I muttered the familiar incantation, as if putting myself in a spell. No, it's a kind of hypnosis. With no magic crest and no magical knowledge, the incantation I mutter is really just a way to focus myself and change my body. Yeah, nice and simple, quote unquote. That's why I said quote unquote. And the modifier being for our American ears. Just like if we were in fact German, Ren spells, they would be perfectly normal. Oh my gosh, that reminds me of. I was talking to Eric the other day, and he was mentioning how a lot of people have been incredibly upset with the new Dragon Age game because of translation errors. And um and it's like not even just like one language, it's like most languages, most translations for the game. And one of the examples was for German, and how uh in German they have a very particular way that they handle gendered nouns and everything. But for whatever reason, the localization team for German for that game, they just threw all those rules out and they're saying, oh, we're going to do our own thing. And the German people very upset. Exactly. That is exactly what they said. Not in pain, however. But well, actually, I'll take that back. It might have been in pain. Poor grammar will do that to you sometime. But yeah. So typically, humans do not have any lines which allow magical energy to pass through their body. To temporarily change my body to create a pseudo version of the lines, I need enough concentration to unify my entire physical and nervous systems. Interesting. Yeah, like breathing. All right. Magecraft is a battle with yourself. For example, I insert a burning steel rod into my backbone. The steel rod itself is the one and only magic circuit I can prepare for myself. By passing this deep within my body and connecting it to my other nerves, I can finally be a mage. This is not a metaphor. And if you look closely, a series of metal rods, which cannot normally be seen or touched, pierce my backbone. Bruh. Honey? Okay. I was like, huh? What's with the change in voice? You can't do that. Kirisugu Emiya was a mage. He was a true mage who disciplined himself in a wide variety of mystics, plumbed the deeper secrets of the world and its workings, and even performed miracles. And as a young child, I admired Kirisugu and begged him to teach me magecraft. But you can't just become a mage. You have to be born with talent and inherit a tremendous amount of knowledge. Obviously, never had that inborn talent, and Kirisugu never imparted any knowledge about magecraft to me. I was told it wasn't necessary for me, or something like that. I don't understand what he meant by that, but it didn't matter to me as a child. I always thought learning magecraft would bring me that much closer to being like Kirisugu. I was blessed neither with talent, that is, an abundance of magic circuits within me, nor was generations of magecraft knowledge handed down to me. The magecraft Kirisugu possessed, the magic crest passed down from the immediate family, can only be passed on to a blood relative. A magic crest, which is proof one is a mage, rejects any non-blood related. Interesting. As an adopted son, I cannot receive the immediate family's crest. Then again, since I honestly don't have any idea of what the heck a magic crest even is, it doesn't matter whether I have one or not. It's just a matter of gaining the ability. If I want to be a mage, I just have to learn magecraft that suits the traits I do have. Makes sense. Magecraft is, taken to its extreme, a skill supposedly meant to release magical energy. You could say that magical energy is a life force. Magical energy is separated into two sources: mana, which comes from the world's atmosphere, and odd, which is created within living creatures. Obviously, mana, which comes from the world itself, is superior to odd. The sheer power of the world's mana is simply not even comparable to the odd one single human can create. No matter the form it takes, magecraft utilizing mana will always surpass anything created from an individual's odd. So a powerful mage is one who excels at drawing magical energy from the world. It's a lot like a filtration system. A mage will use their own body circuits to draw in mana from outside and convert it into something usable. Mages call the circuits they use to accomplish this magic circuits. This is the inborn talent part. The number of magic circuits one has is determined at the moment of birth. Typically, humans have hardly any magic circuits. They are normally quite rare. That's why mages will spend generations trying to ensure their descendants have a body more suitable for magic. Some families even go as far as to practice selective breeding in order to increase the number of magic circuits in their children. Yeah, not surprising. And since I was raised in a normal family, I never had a chance of having much in the way of magic circuits. That left me one option. According to Kirisugu, everyone is well suited in one specific form of magecraft. He also says something about drawing out magical energy based on the person's origin, but I never quite understood that part. What I do understand is that even someone like me can use at least one form of magecraft. If I can do that, then maybe I can be like Kirisugu. And that's why I've only learned this one magecraft. Oh, home. Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Your classical elements. Right, right. Ooh, okay. Hmm. Interesting, interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's see. That was 8 years ago. After a lot of thought, Kirisugu took me on as his disciple, though he never seemed happy about it. pretty metal. I guess I knew no fear as a child. I mean, yes, you were quite literally a child, and you managed to live through the great blaze of '74. I mean, actual year that it happened. uh, yeah, there probably is some many things that scare you now, or at least then. Hiratsugu smiled bitterly, placing a hand atop my head as I nodded enthusiastically. Right. Yeah. Right. Right. I guess Kirisugu didn't want me to be a mage, but I didn't care about any of that. I admire Kirisugu, not mages. So as long as I can be the sort of person who lives to help others, like Kirisugu on that day of fire and nightmare, got distracted. I felt the uncomfortable sensation of the iron rod in my backbone moving where it shouldn't. Oh no. Right. It, as he put it so eloquently, this is the path to self destruction. Losing control of my breathing now would be fatal. The pseudo magic circuits would overwhelm my body and shred it to pieces. And that would be the end of me. Yeah. And yeah. And the fact that he quite clearly said this is not a metaphor. I'm just like, bruh, the real questions. I'm just like, you put into your backbone, then like can't be far off from like your spinal column. Don't go a little to the left or the right. You might paralyze yourself, much less getting to the point where you just kill yourself. Yes. Let's see. Shiro Mio would simply be a novice who died because he failed at an elementary step. I grit my teeth and try to recover my connection. After pain like walking through a storm of needles, the iron rod finally sinks deep within my body and fuses with me. I've been working on this for a little over an hour, and after, yeah, oh, And after all that time, I'm finally able to create one pseudo circuit, a circuit capable of creating magical energy using my own self. All that's left is to allow the magical energy to flow naturally. Shiro Amiya is no mage. He is just a user of magecraft who can only create magical energy within his body and channel it into objects. That's why I can only do one thing with this magecraft, which is enhancing objects. It's just strengthening magecraft where I comprehend an object structure and channel magical energy to temporarily reinforce its abilities. Basically, I hold a broken iron pipe. I pass magical energy through it to execute the most basic magecraft to enhance its durability. Passing magical energy into something other than yourself is like mixing poison. My blood is a far cry from the blood of an iron pipe. Yeah, yeah. Forcing an entirely different sort of blood through an object might well destroy it rather than enhance it. To prevent that from happening, I need to properly understand an object's structure and pass magical energy into it between the small vacant spaces. Okay, makes sense. May be easy for a skilled mage, but since I have a hard time generating magical energy in the first place, even a task like this is as difficult as shooting an arrow and hitting a person several hundred yards or 700 meters from you. A typical archery target is only 28 meters away. So it goes without saying how hard it would be to hit a target at 10 times that distance. My body temperature suddenly plummets. The fiery pillar passing through my backbone disappears, and my lungs seize in desperate need of oxygen. My back arches in an effort to keep me from passing out. The iron pipe is unchanged. The magical energy I pass into it appears to have dispersed. Hmm. What I'm attempting to do is like adding an extra brushwork to a completed work of art. Adding something extra to a completed object raises the risk of compromising the object's integrity. Paintbrush, hoping to improve, may actually devalue the work instead. Which is why, despite its simplicity, strengthening magecraft is so difficult, and not many mages willingly use it. And it's not that I chose this, but it's really all I can do. It would be much easier if I could make something from shapeless clay, a sub- but substitute, yeah, but a substitute that just recreates its form is all show and no substance, which explains all the junk around. Whenever I fail at strengthening magecraft, I try to make substitute objects to practice and calm down on, but they all end up empty. I can visualize the structure of an object easily, and I can recreate something very similar, but it's hollow and obviously doesn't function at all. Yeah, not bad though. I mean, yeah, it's in fact better than a minor illusion. Yeah. Who cares if like you actually try to use it? It will in fact crumble to dust at the like the moment that you look at it wrong. But that's beside the point. I didn't say nothing and I did not look away from the novel. Yeah, yeah. It said, we are not, in fact, creating a factory of weapons. Okay. Hi. I wiped the sweat off. Yeah, the sweat off my brow. I realized I'm absolutely dripping with sweat. I bet. If this is as bad as it got, I should consider myself lucky. But what happened earlier was really bad. Had I taken even a second longer to recover, my internal organs would probably be mush about now. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. And sorcerers too, for that matter. Oh yeah, I guess so. Okay. Yeah, I guess so. Would it be so easy? But nothing comes that easily. Same time, fear of death will stand in the way of improving my magecraft. Learning magecraft means courting death at every turn. Even rudimentary, everyday magecraft can spin wildly out of control from a single mistake, ending the caster's life. Yeah, yeah, that's just a cantrip. Baby's first spell. I mean, unless you just decide not to take that instead, get like thaumaturgy or something. But and make yourself really loud. Can't forget about that. Hirasugu always looked sad whenever he brought that up. Maybe it was his way of saying that he didn't want me getting into any of this. Hirasugu always said that whenever I mentioned wanting to be like him. I still don't know what he meant by that. All I'm certain of is that I want to save people, be a hero of justice, just like Kirisugu and Nia. Which is funny because, like, literally, that is all everyone has been telling him over the course of this afternoon and night. Fuck. Not enough for me to just grasp at the object structure visually. A skilled mage would be able to focus only on the crucial areas and eventually channel magical energy. My dream is to become a hero of justice. I remember what Fujine mentioned at dinner. I never really thought of that goal as embarrassing or impossible. That Shiro Emiya would succeed Kirisugo Emiya has already been decided. That's why I've been doing everything I can, despite how sorely I lack in experience. I don't know exactly what it means to be a hero of justice, but because I don't know, I've trained myself to be the best of my abilities in hopes that I'll be useful to someone. I haven't taken my eye off that goal these past 5 years, but whenever things go wrong like this, I start to have doubts. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah, he really would. He'd be like, "All right, I see where you're at. I see where you're going. Now here's your training regimen. Go get them." But that's a fantastic image. Pulls out the claws. All right, today we're doing sculptures. Shing, 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 shing. Retracts claws. A perfect sculpture, David. Hmm. That's right. Oh gosh, I want to say that that was maybe two, maybe. The same, same. Yeah. Yes, you're right. It's Jean Grey because it's on. Well, I'm not gonna say only ever her, but it's mainly her. Is where you get the funny scene of him sitting in bed with the picture, uh, because it's her in said picture, and he's like, "Oh gosh." But yeah, um, yeah, he's very much in love with the Jean Grey, but Jean's like, "Yeah, I'm just not into you. I, in fact, love Cyclops," and there's just always, and that's without the beams that comes out of his eyes. I mean, they might, but I mean, they fire out of his eyes. That's more so what I'm getting at. But anyways, look up at the sky through a window. It's not just about being good for someone out of the blue. Saving someone and being a hero of justice are two very different things. I know that, but what do I have to do to differentiate them? I've yet to understand that crucial concept these for the past 5 years. Ah, the next day, February 1st. One day, I awake to darkness, my old friend. I guess I'm not much for dreaming. Unless something big happens, I always have the same dream, anyways. I always envision a sword. I have no idea why, but that's the only thing that pops into my head. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Perhaps this is what defines me as, well, Shiro Amiya. I don't have any dreams of my own. The only things on my mind while I sleep are what others taught me long ago. For example, on how to be a mage. Even if I'm not a fully fledged mage, it's only natural for a mage to be aware of the world they live in. Put simply, a mage is an irregular, an outcast from society. But even outcasts need to band together to survive. My old man told me there's a society of mages called the Mages Association. He also told me I shouldn't ever get involved with them. Yeah, I agree. The Mages Association is said to conceal the existence of magecraft and manage mages. The Mages Association watches over mages and makes sure their magecraft doesn't affect society. But the strange thing is that they don't really prohibit mages from abusing magecraft either. Then what do they do? Collect annual dues to line their pockets, and that's about it. According to Kirisugu, the Mages Association is only interested in concealing mystics. Okay. So even if, say, a mage carried out an experiment that sacrificed, let's say, a lot of citizens, the association wouldn't punish them. Interesting. Which is really funny that he mentions that because today is February 1st. That means. Hmm. Oh, it means that a certain thing should be happening very soon at the school. Or almost happening very soon at the school. Yeah. Yeah. Because that's what? To no, tomorrow night, right? The second? Okay. Had their run in. Yeah, because last night would have been when Archer got here, and then today, during the day, they would take their walk around town, and then at night, they hang out back at the house, and then they go to school the next day, and they're like, hold up, somebody's doing something fishy at the school, etc. So, their priorities are expressly in preventing the public from becoming aware of magecraft, which does not mean magecraft is completely banned. Interesting. Honestly, anything goes as long as the truth doesn't come out. At least that seems to be how that insane bunch conducts themselves. Oh, that is fantastic. That it might be their in my WH men in wizard hats. And of course, said hats are black. uh, Whatever it is, the Mages Association surveillance is absolute. Typical magecraft research sacrifices the lives of ordinary humans, which in turn risks revealing the existence of magecraft to the world. As such, the Mages Association doesn't permit research that would harm society. Ultimately, mages conduct their research in the privacy of their homes while the world is none the wiser. So mages sometimes go into hiding to escape the association's scrutiny and oversight, which is what my question is like, okay, how is it that they are keeping track of all these different mages and knowing that, oh no, I saw in the news this morning that local school, all the students were turned to mush. This must be a mage. I know exactly that it was a mage named Bobby. We need to go get him. Like, how they know that? Touche. Touche. That's true. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. So since they know all of their members and their general locations, they would be able to pin down of like, okay, Rand, I know that you do this type of magic with all your fancy gems. So the fact that all these people were turned into gems screams that it must be you practicing your magic. Suspect one. Or if it's just someone in general kicking up a stinking Fuyuki, then it's like, okay, this probably wasn't her, but we're still going to go talk to her and be like, why didn't you stop these people from causing a ruckus? That's funny. So there may be some mages living in this very town, and I just don't know it. Funny you mentioned that. I also hear Fuyuki is a spiritual hotspot of sorts. That probably means there is some prestigious mage with a storied history living here. Funny you mentioned that too. They're so-called second owners, elite mages. The association entrusts to watch over territory. Okay. Other mages who live in the same area must visit these second owners first to get permission to build the workshops. My old man was an outlaw who cut ties with the association and moved here without the consent of Fuyuki's second owner. Oh. So in a way, our family is a bunch of trespassers living in a house without permission from the landlord. Yeah. Which means the second owner doesn't know that Kirisugu and Mia was a mage. So I tend to feel like our family status as mages is kind of unclear. But then my old man, the bona fide mage, died, which still don't know yet what's called to death. And even though I'm his disciple and son, I don't know a thing about the Mages Association and have no real knowledge about being a mage. I have a feeling the association will want to dispose of someone like me, but they haven't made any sort of move. That's because, exactly. Def- well, he hasn't even succeeded in reinforcing the pipe yet. So you are on your way. You can make lots of imitations. Progress. Yeah, right. Because, he sort of kind of fabricated an object or something. Interesting. But I guess that makes sense because, like our boy was just saying, if you're going to make something, you need to understand its structure. So having that wood carver's proficiency would mean that you know a little something about wood and how to shape it into a given shape. Apparently, the Mages Association doesn't have many eyes in Japan. That's probably why I haven't been found yet. Yeah, but that doesn't mean I can let my guard down. The eyes of the Mages Association are said to be everywhere, and if someone commits a crime using magecraft, the church's heretic hunters will make their move. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, heretic hunters, yes. Uh, exactly. Kind of, and then plus they're the ones they're like, yeah, you need to hurry up and summon your stand. I mean, your servant. So that way you can actually participate. Otherwise, you're going to get someone else to fill the slot. So obviously, must be related in some way to the association, which makes sense. Yeah, yeah. Well, they call it the Holy Grail, and God said, I'm going to be involved. Otherwise, you're going to get doxxed for copyright infringement. And then and yeah, and the wizard said, but but Holy Grail is such a great name. We kind of can't give it up, so I guess we'll allow you to get involved. Oh man. Using Magecraft, however, that's your cue. Ah, you went silent on me. Use Mage, yeah. See? So with all that in mind, I honestly just want to study being a mage on my own. Hmm. Yeah. Full stop. Forget the fact of whether you do it right or wrong. It wants you dead, and it will try its best. Exactly. Well, he actually went to sleep in his own room. I wake up as the sunlight starts to pour in through the window. Looks like the sun's just now coming up. It's still dark out. I am content with the temperature as it is right now. It's gotten to the point where it's not sweltering, and we're starting to get basically a nice little chill, such that It's very comfortable, even a little nippy at night once the sun goes down. I get up, trying not to let the cold morning, okay, the morning cold, discourage me and quickly fold up my futon. I feel that. I usually let the cold discourage me and sit in bed for a little while longer. It's 5:30. I've always been an early riser, no matter how late I go to bed. It's crazy. I might mess up once in a while, like yesterday, but that's rare. I let Sakura do all the work yesterday, so it would look kind of bad if I didn't return the favor this morning. I should hurry up and finish making breakfast before Sakura comes. Cook rice and make miso soup. Yesterday the soup had daikon radish and carrots, so I'm making onion and potato miso soup today. Right? I make the egg omelet and use the leftover konnyaku to simmer it with bonita flakes. Uh, maybe I. Oh, um, yeah, yeah, toge. Salmon. At least I think that was his affirmative. Yeah, I'm just going to assume that I'm right. Let's see. I make incisions in the sorry fish, which will be the main dish, and sprinkle it with a little salt. All I have to do is broil it, but that can wait until the last minute. Almost 6. I finished earlier than expected, so I have some time on my hands. So, what should I do with this extra time? Morning exercise is my daily routine, so I might as well do some light workouts. There's a respectable dojo built into the Amiya house. It was added as a sort of afterthought when the house was first constructed, which is why this dojo wasn't built for a specific purpose. Fujine apparently used this place as her playground even before I came to this house. And then I became Kirisugo's disciple and started using this place more often. Fujine hated me for that for a while. Wow. There's only one there's only one thing I do here. Training to be a mage means I can't neglect training my body. One of the conditions of being a mage is maintaining yourself at your physical peak. When Kirisuga was still alive, he and I sparred often. Dang. Then he just had to die and not give you a chance to redeem your losing streak. How irresponsible. But at least I learned the difference between a fight and a battle. In other words, I learned the difference between killing and beating an opponent and how to conduct myself in each situation. Knowledge and experience are different. Without the knowledge to know the difference, it's hard to tell if you've gotten yourself in a fight or a massacre. It's as simple as that. Learning magecraft means that there is a risk of perishing on your own, as well as the risk of having to fight. And to mages, that means killing each other. That's why Kirisuga wanted to teach me that I must always be ready to face death. But the person reminded me of that lesson is long gone. So the only thing I can do alone is some simple exercises, stretching, push ups, sit ups. It's no different than what the members of the Kyoto Club do in the morning. The only difference is in the intensity. Right? What type of numbers you running? Sakura is clearly eager in her reply. And coming in behind the ever dependable Sakura, Fujine casually heads to the table. I need to grill the prepared fish. Oh no. Sakura reaches far to take out the plates. Honey? As she reaches out, I think I see a faint bruise on the back of her hand. She averts her eyes, looking uneasy. Her reaction makes how she got the bruise clear. That's the classic. Oh, but I fell. And that's how I got the bruise. Mhm. It's all you, bro. Go fold him in half. Sakura falls silent. Sakura may seem docile, but she's surprisingly stubborn. It's no use saying anything to her now. The moment I say Shinji's name, Sakura awkwardly looks away. It can only mean she's the cause of the bruise on her hand. Shinji Mato has a bad habit of treating his younger sister like crap. I noticed it about a year ago. Every now and then I see Sakura injured, and she always makes excuses when I ask what happened. When I asked Shinji about it, he revealed to my shock that he'd been the one who hit Sakura. Didn't didn't even try to hide it. Exactly. No preamble, just goodbye, sayonara. You're through. I So I asked why. He told me it was because she'd done something he hadn't liked. So that warranted an immediate follow up. Yes. Good, good. I knew our boy would come through for us. That's usually how it goes. He's a cinnamon roll, but then things go wrong. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Agree. I too wouldn't really be trying to hang out with him after knowing that he beats his sister and I had to clock him for it and he was unrepentant. Well, you see, no, he has not met up with my fist again. Like he said, it wasn't a fight. A fight implies that both sides were able to do something. uh, yeah. He's like, what? That's news to me. What Sakura says strikes me as odd. uh, like, what's he going to do? True. He might shoot an arrow in our general direction, though. He could probably catch it. I believe in him. Hit that fist of the North Star, catch it in his finger, and sit it right back. Uh huh. Nice. Yeah, you should. Oh, oh, okay. Oh, convenient. It would have been so funny. I'm a little sad that you didn't get a chance to do so. Beautiful. Fantastic. Yeah, yeah. I can believe it. I pointed my left shoulder. A little scar there. Happened about a year and a half ago. Something fell on me during one of my jobs, injuring my left shoulder. I ended up with just a broken bone, but I also came away with a burn to my shoulder. Oh, wow. After the accident, I quit the Kyoto Club. Understandably. Got to recover and probably can't do things the same way. Maybe. Our school's Kyoto Club, out of respect for formalities, allows students to perform sacred shooting rituals. Male students participating in this expose their left shoulder. Ah, I see. I see. Don't want to have to show that scar off to the masses. Shinji pointed out that it may be disrespectful for someone performing a sacred shot to expose a scar. And since I was getting busy with my various jobs, I decided to quit the club. Hmm. Dang. Oh, she said, pulls out permanent marker, draws on the frowny face. Fantastic. Yes, it was. I know I should give her a serious answer, but unfortunately, I can't give Sakura the answer she's looking for, so I'm deflecting. Yeah, I pat Sakura's shoulder. Dang. She nods so violently, it looks like she might drop the plates. Yeah, it's almost 7:30. Sakura and Fujine have long since left the house for their morning club activities. I went to school early because Issei asked me to, but I leave the house at the usual time today. I noticed something strange as I walked down the hill towards the intersection. Several police cars are parked in front of a house. Something must have happened since a crowd has gathered. There are easily 20 people watching. Hmm? curious, but the mass of people prevents me from finding out what's happening. I don't have much time, so I hurry to school. Huh. I wonder what happens. Because the prologue definitely did not show anything of what was going on there. Because Ren would still be at her house talking with the archer and coming up with a plan of the day and then being like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to skip school. Let's go explore the town. So I make it to school 10 minutes before the first bell. As I cross through the gate with plenty of time as usual. Oh, I thought I recognized that voice. I run into a familiar student. I don't know what's so funny, but she laughs heartily, not caring about her surroundings. This is Ayako Mitsuri. Been a classmate of mine since we were first years, and she's currently the captain of the Kyoto Club. She's an unbelievably insightful person, and it was expected that she would be the team's next captain since her first year with them. Mitsuzuri is a precocious sort. Wow, that's two in a single stream. That's crazy. And people have always had high hopes for her and even leaned on her ever since she was a first year. Then again, she gets mad whenever someone mentions that in front of her, claiming she doesn't look as old as people think. Dang. Like she, I know, like she said, or we said about her, she is insightful. Mm-hmm. Maybe. Probably. She does use a bow. Wise man once said, think before you speak. And don't speak that which will get you killed. That's good. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh man. Yeah, yeah. Oh man, there really is just no winning. Uh-huh. Because unlike Shinji, you never let your true self show. If anything, he should keep that a little more inside and not repress it. In fact, just change it. Become a different person. Dang. The current troublemaker and the former term troublemaker. Dang. It's just been everybody today. Wow. But then again, she did in fact just refer to him as the quote unquote troublemaker. Mm-hmm. Yup. Yup. Oh, dang. So after he got the lashing from Ren, he was so upset that one yeah, got caught in the crossfire. Poor kid. Yeah. Mitsuri sighs gravely. Seeing her look so serious is rare to begin with, but the rest of her story is particularly alarming. Dang. Made a spectacle of the poor kid. Yeah? uh, is what it means to be the captain. You have these crazy things called responsibilities. Got him with the reverse. But it fits. And it's no surprise that Shinji got rejected. Knowing Tosaka, she probably has some pretty harsh insults to go with the rejection. Hmm. Same. Hopefully, his impending doom tomorrow will straighten him out going forward. Some people, they just can't accept no. What do you mean you said no to this, Shinji? I'm the hottest thing since sliced bread. You must love and accept me. Just because you said no now, you're definitely going to change your mind. Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Apparently, he's got a sense of self control and conscientiousness. That is true. He is totally convinced that whenever she comes by, it's just to see him. Forget the fact that she has an actual friend in the club. News to me. Rento Saka doesn't participate in any club activities because her family forbids it or something. She even turned down nominations to be a member of the student council, so I always thought she went straight home after school. Mitsuzuri has a weird way of looking at this. If you say so, it seems pretty legit to me. Now that I think about it, they say that Ren Tosaka has a lot of enemies. I wonder if Mitsuri is one of them too. Best friend enemies, even. Hey, Shirley. Yeah. I want to be carried to your room. No, I will not walk there. I will just scream until someone notices me. Mitsuzuri hastily runs off. I never minded just how forthright she always is. Feel a bit more at ease and head towards the classroom. It's lunchtime. School has quite the cafeteria, and most of the students eat lunch there. Well, there are some old fashioned students who still bring their own lunches, including myself and the student council president sitting in front of me. Yeah. But what you got to trade? The good trade. Yeah. Yes. 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 He would make excellent headline act in the circus. I don't know. It's just something tells me he's still going to end up finding himself bald headed, even yet still in the circus. Yeah, just as long as there's not a Frieza around. Right? You right? Issei's father is the priest of Ryodo Temple, a larger than life figure who's also friends with Fujine's grandfather. Anyone who gets along with old man Fujimura can't possibly be normal. Okay. But you know what? Fair enough. The Yakuza man and everybody's good friends with him. Yeah, something must be off. Basically. Well, then, here you go. Help me. I passed my bento box to him. I mean, he's getting in practice. I know. With the deep bow. Mm hmm. I honestly question whether I should be reminded that he's the son of a priest at times like this. No, you should be reminded because it's coming through in spades. Yeah, I saw the commotion, but no clue what happened. Yeah, of course. Where else is it going to be unless there's two plus incidents going on in your town at an intersection? Point. Huh. Yeah. Uh, I mean, it could be something like even a long spear, maybe. I agree. I agree. No, I was gonna say, just getting in the nightly prayers, as one does. A long weapon. Does it mean a sword or something? Murder. That weapon killed the parents and the older sister. Can't help but imagine it. Someone sneaks into the house late at night. Unreasonable violence. A horrible nightmare the victim never imagined or wished for. Like a traffic accident. The parents are slaughtered. The older sister falls victim without knowing what's happening. A lone child hidden in the shadows, covered in their family's blood. Oh, don't mind me. I'm just triggered. Carry on. Mm-hmm. That is true. That is. Issei apologizes and tries to lighten the mood. I actually don't mind topics like this and didn't realize I was looking so severe. And then there's a gentle knock at the student council room's door. Mr. Kazuki enters and Issei steps over to him to have a quiet conversation. Look at that. Something I don't see every day. Issei is surprisingly shy. He keeps his distance from classmates and even teachers, but for some reason he's warmed up to the student council advisors, Mr. Kazuki. Yeah, probably because they work together so often. Kinda can't help it. There's that too. Uh, I hear Soichiro. Got it. Kazuki is the homeroom teacher for class 2A, and he's very serious and kind of weird. Some part of that is probably why he and Issei get on so well. The two continue to talk. As I watch them, I can't help thinking about the murder. Class is in and it's time to go home. Can't wander around because I have work today. I shouldn't do anything at school. I should head straight to the neighboring town, but it's still too. Maybe the morning's conversation bothered me more than I realized. Next thing I know, I'm at the Kyoto Club. Yeah, what are you thinking? Please, internal dialogue, do the thing. Means is exactly, exactly. Mitsuzuri said that Ren Tosaka frequently visits. Well, that I hadn't thought of that, but I think it's going to be a problem if Shinji got violent against Tosaka. Shinji lashing out at Tosaka because she rejected him would be bad. Which, now that I think about it, that would be the reason why he was so upset and hit the Amoto. That would be the cause of Sakura's bruise, probably. He's still angry because of it. I don't know exactly how, but it'd just be bad. Osaka's nowhere to be found around the dojo. Mitsuzuri worried for nothing. Dun dun dun. Jazz music stops. Issei, who I thought I'd part ways with, is standing right next to me. That is true. Like that's what I said. You definitely did divulge a lot of information there. But fair enough. Kind of got to give some context, so I don't fault you too much. Yeah, money. A class. So she's absent. Ah. Wow. Somehow, what Issei's saying irritates me. I may not know Tosaka that well, but I don't think she's a bad person. Dang. A secret crush? Yeah. I know. Oh, for real. That's what he said. Dang. Yeah. Obviously, she's manipulating the populace into thinking that she's sweet as pie. Dang. I know. Carl went and hit her with a yokai da. Dang. Basically. Uh, which, I think what he did say is in fact worse. So, you know what? The fact that he dropped that from the list, understandable. Ah. Boy said, these are my thoughts and I want everybody to hear them. Do not get it twisted. Dang. Yeah, he would. No wonder I sense people watching us. Gosh. Well, that's a relief. I'm really glad Tosaka's absent today. Spoken just like a lawyer. Got the little disclaimer, asterisk, and everything. Right. Right. Because really, he really did just say, I instinctually, by definition, no reasons needed, dislike her. Like, for real. I'm pretty sure minx is definitely a derogatory term. Yeah? You can't hear hell? Nani? Fine. Ah, yeah, that would do it. The No, it was not muted. The audio device for Discord decided that didn't know what my headphones were.
Oh no. I had so many good zingers.
I know, you had so many. Alright, you should be coming through clear now. Say more words.
Yeah.
Counts. Alright, there we go. Now you're coming through.
The tragedy.
I know. All right, now we gotta go back. No, I'm kidding.
We are not going all the way back. It has been 2 hours.
Yeah, it has been.
I know, Shirley.
Yeah, we can hear you too, Shirley.
あくまで遠坂を表現する値として採用しただけである。
Uh-huh. To describe
I
her in a
don't
good
believe
way.
you.
Press X to doubt.
勝つ。
Cuts!
Dang. You say laughs.
それではな。俺は生徒会室に戻るが、エミヤはバイトだろう。こんなところで道草を食っている暇はなかろう。
Damn, that's an ugly baby.
Uh-huh.
She took offense so fast.
Yeah. Shouldn't call babies ugly.
Even if it's factually true.
Actually true. Say Issei leaves calm and composed, perhaps because he felt satisfied having said everything he wanted to say.
Called her everything but a bitch, to clarify.
Yeah,
He was holding that in.
for real though. Since yesterday at the very least.
Bare minimum.
I've known him for 2 years now, but honestly, still don't get that guy.
The Buddhism gives him like presence concealment on his personality.
They're hard to read. Failed your insight check yet again. I ride the bus from school for 20 minutes. I arrive at Shinto, the neighboring town across the bridge.
なんだ、まだ5時前か。少し時間があるな。
There aren't many part-time jobs in the residential area of Miyama, but there are plenty in Shinto since it's a developing area. Still, it's just wild to me that they have built all of that in just 10 years.
I know. Like that's gonna come collapsing down real quick. If something goes wrong.
Like free. Our school allows students to hold part-time jobs, so I take on simple jobs. I prefer my jobs to be physical, and the tougher and shorter they are, the better. I get paid all the while training my body. It's like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Quite true.
I think I would like physical labor if I wasn't disabled.
Yeah. Today I'll work from 5 to 8 o'clock for a simple loading job. It may be just 3 hours of work, but it feels more like 6 hours. Dang, since they make you work without a minute's rest. Oh, dang. Which means I need to rest when I have the opportunity, even if it's just for 10 minutes. Walking around aimlessly would be a waste of energy, so I decide to rest at a park until it's time.
Ooh. Hello, Murder Park.
Yeah. The park is nestled between buildings, and it's like a giant plaza full of trees and shrubbery. Parks should typically be filled with families and couples during weekends and holidays. This one is deserted and sour. In fairness, this place is always desolate, no matter the time of day.
相変わらずだな、ここは。
I sigh in exasperation. The area is unkept and it's really pretty ugly compared to other places that are properly landscaped and maintained. As if the desolate location has set the mood, the wind itself blows cold and harsh. This place is the remnant of the great catastrophe that happened 10 years ago. It's the very place where I was saved from the
なん
brink
で
of
芝
death.
生とか植えないんだろう。いつまでもこのままってのはもったいない。
area is quite large, so if they leveled it, there would be plenty of space to work on the park. I sit down on a bench as I think. With nothing else to do, I stare out over the burned area to pass the time. I don't remember anything that happened here. The only thing I remember is that it was hot, couldn't breathe, and that some people died trying to save others. There they go.
どうしてそうなのかな。
Can I help you, little lady?
One adult here died because they were trying to save a child from a burning house. Another person was offered all of the available water to extinguish their raw, parched throat, while others in the same situation died. Someone here tried to flee the fire as fast as they could, but the people left behind died. And someone died here because they gave whatever it was that kept them alive to someone they didn't even know. I don't like thinking about that. Thinking about people trying to help and becoming victims for their trouble makes me angry. Too much to ask for everyone to be saved? For them to get their happy ending after? I understand what you mean. Fortunately, reality has in fact said that that's too much to ask for. All I want to see is people peacefully prevail. Why can't that happen?
それは難しい。シロの言っていることは誰も彼も救うということだからね。
That was Kirisugi's response to the question when a very young me asked it. As a child, I obviously refused to accept that idea. But you say, Kirisugi, I knew you were a magician and you could do anything. I knew you were a champion of justice who wouldn't let anyone suffer. And you did it without asking for any reward. That's why I've always believed you managed to save everyone back then. In response to me shouting this at him, Kirisugi looked more troubled than I'd ever seen him, and said something I remember to this day.
シロ、誰かを救うということは誰かを助けないということなんだ。いいかい？正義の味方に助けられるのはね、正義の味方が助けた者だけなんだよ。当たり前のことだけど、これが正義の味方の定義なんだ。
We make countless choices in our lifetime, and each choice that we make is a choice that we didn't make.
Exactly. It's impossible. Pack your cake. In this scenario. Yeah, I get that. And now it's been pointed out, it seems so obvious. Imagine if there was a burglar and some hostages, and the burglar intends to kill the hostages. Under normal circumstances, a majority of the hostages would probably die. But if by some miracle all the hostages were saved, then there's someone who didn't get saved. The burglar, of course, since having the hostages was done at the cost of his life. Since saving the hostages was done at the cost of his life.
Don't you stab me in the throat, woman.
Okay, that's crazy. People the champion of justice saves are only those whom the champion of justice deems to save. That's why saving everyone is impossible. Even God can't do that.
それが天才ならなおさらだ。誰であろうと 全てを助けるなんてできなかった。
The fire 10 years ago was like that. As someone who was miraculously saved from the incident, it wasn't my place to say anything at this
け
point.
ど嫌だ。
He has some serious guilt about it.
Yeah. Survivor's guilt, even. I don't want anything like that. I don't like the idea that there's a limitation on who can be saved. No matter how impossible it may be, I need to reach out to help. I can't stand to see people around me die, like back then. If the person I am now had been there 10 years ago, I would have thrown myself into the fire.
そのまま無駄死にしてたろうな。間違いなく。
Yeah. That would have happened, for sure. Jeez, I can't even fantasize in my head.
しまった。ぼんやりしてたら5時になっちまった。
A bell in the distance rings, chiming 5 o'clock. I get up from the bench and hurry to my part-time job. By the time I'm done working, the sun has long since set. A little before 8 o'clock. I finished about 10 minutes earlier because I kind of overworked myself. Yeah? Maybe it's because I stopped by that park before work. That might have motivated me to push myself harder.
Guilt is a hell of a drug.
At the train station, the night is just getting started. There are a bunch of people milling about and an endless stream of cars on the road.
藤姉にお土産はいいか。
I walk along the path as I gaze up at a lighted building. The biggest building in Shinto, but I can't see all the way to the top. As I gaze at the building, enjoying the nighttime scenery. Well, I think I see something bizarre.
なんだ今の。
I stop and try to look to the very top. I squint, trying to bring what I see into focus, but it's like staring at grains of rice.
You can see from way down there?
Apparently. It looks like someone I know. But I can't think why this girl I know would have a reason to be there. She likes heights. Bit of a thrill seeker. Etc. It doesn't seem like she's going to do anything up there. But she's just standing there, looking down at the city, as the wind ruffles her hair. She doesn't seem to notice me down below. Actually, there's no way she could see me. Even my near-perfect vision, enhanced with magecraft, can barely distinguish what's up there. I'm able to tell she's up there because she's isolated. There's no way she would be able to pick me out of a crowd on the ground. She's looking down at the town. Seems she's looking for something. I can almost feel her sharp gaze, even at this distance. I forget how long it's been, but I continue looking up at the girl standing before me. She stands at the top of a high tower. It's like a magician, looking down at the surface world with the bright moon shining right behind her. And then, she disappears, apparently done with whatever brought her up there. The rooftop stands empty, and the scenery returns back to nothing more than the beautiful
今
night
の
sky.
遠坂だったのかな。
Indeed. That was the Tosaka. Can't be sure, but I'm probably right about who it was at least.
Kind of hard to mistake her.
That's
She
true.
invented the Trimtails.
Uh, there aren't many girls I know who stand out like her, and besides, I'm not so out of it I'd fail to notice a girl I secretly admire.
Ooh.
Oh,
そうか。にしても、
yes. Osaka sure has a weird way of spending her time. Unlike Shinto, there's no sign of people anywhere in Miyama. There's nobody around after 8 at night, and the town is silent, still. The house I saw this morning stands across from the intersection. There are no signs of life, and a no trespassing sign hangs over the front door. Just a single day, the house has fallen quiet, almost like an abandoned building. A girl and her parents were killed by a burglar. I wonder what life awaits now for the single child who survived. I bite my lip, frustrated by my powerlessness. I promised I'd be just like Kirisugu, but I couldn't do anything, even when something like this happens so close to home. Well, usually the first step is knowing that it's happening when it is happening.
Like maybe you
The only
gotta pull
way.
a Spider-Man
Oh,
3. Get a police scanner or something.
yeah, there you go.
I don't know. Does Japan have enough going on that a police scanner be effective?
That's a very good question. I actually don't know.
Let alone, for Yuki in particular, because again, they're on an island here. Like, I know
Yeah.
Japan is all islands, but like especially this place is an island.
Yes, exactly.
Archipelago. Noun. A group of islands.
Yes, there you go. Geography teacher would be proud. I want to help people, but I don't even know what I can do. I reached the top of the hill where my house sits. The lights are on, so Fujine or Sakura are still inside.
ただいま。あれ、藤姉だけか。
おかえりしろ
Fujine turns towards me, munching on a rice cracker.
I need to use the restroom, but I need to see this scene too. I know what's coming.
Want me to just pause here for a few moments?
Oh, thank you very much. It's gonna be real embarrassed if it ends up being the other night and not this one, but still.
While we wait for Hell to get back, how's everyone doing? Enjoying the stream so far? Now that you can hear both of our voices? going to assume that all is going well.
Man, my legs do not like that I did boxing today. Carry on.
All right. The TV's turned on to a lively variety show.
もうまたこんな時間に帰ってきて。冬は日が暮れるのが早いんだから、もっと早くに帰ってきなさいって言ったでしょ。
Again, Fujine, the moment you start paying my bills, I won't have to work and be out late. Just that simple.
Just saying.
だから早く帰ってきてるだろ。8時までのバイトを選んでるんだから、これ以上無茶言わないでくれ。で、さくらはどうしたんだよ。なんか晩飯の支度だけはできてるみたいだけど。
さくらちゃんなら早めに帰ったわよ。今日は用事があるからって晩ご飯だけ作ってくれたの。
Fujine cheerfully replies, as far as she's concerned, anyone who makes her food is a good person.
Like a dog.
Yes.
Or a tiger.
そっか。
Exactly.
確かにしばらくはその方がいいかもしれないな。最近は物騒だし、いっそ新学期まで晩飯は俺が作ろうか。
反対。シロ帰ってくるの遅いじゃない。それからご飯作ってたら大体10時過ぎになっちゃうよ。
Have you considered cooking your own dinner? Or, you know, go home,
Eat-
going
Maybe
elsewhere?
ordering out.
Yeah.
I know that teacher's salary ain't much, but you live in Japan. The cost of living is a little different.
True. This is true. Also, how much you want to bet that, like, she doesn't actually have to pay rent and things like that because her grandfather owns the place.
That's probably fair. I feel like he owns a lot of things, though.
Mm-hmm.
あのね、そこに自分家で食べるという選択肢はないのか、あんたは。
Exactly.
だからここが私の家だよ。
I'm flattered, honey, but no.
Fujine tilts her head, puzzled. Honestly, I'm not sure if a response like that should make me happy or sad. I think both are warranted.
たく、わかったよ。藤姉に飯を作れなんて無理難題を言ってもしょうがねえ。それはいいけど、足元のそれなんだよ。また余計なものを持ってきたんじゃないだろうな。
Fujine has a tendency to leave a bunch of junk here. She'll bring stuff like bowls from restaurants that are too big to be functional, an unnecessarily heavy earthen teapot, or a weird guitar that plays itself. Must think this place is convenient storage or something.
ちょっと見せてみろ。ゴミだったら捨てるから。
うちで余ったポスターだけど。
Ah, this is the scene.
Okay. What is this poster? Fujine hands me the poster. It's probably a poster of some no-name singer.
どれどれ。
Giorgio Kujo's dad?
I knew it. It's a poster of a young man wearing a military uniform, smiling with his thumbs up, all in front of a cheap-looking blue sky background. The caption on the poster, in bloody font by the way, loves lovely Rangerland. Uh-huh. Come to the self-defense meetup. Hey, this is a recruitment poster for a youth group.
それいらないからあげるね。
Oh, goodness.
俺だっていらねえよこんなの。
I quickly roll the poster back up and try to whack Fujine on the head with it.
へへん、外れ。
Yeah, I had a feeling that was the case whenever it said try and not succeed. However, Fujine counters mercilessly with another poster she's been holding. Honk. Her poster sword boxed me light. Oh. Oh. That just wasn't a light tap. This was.
This was a death blow. What was in that poster? I think she just Brodericked you, bro.
I think it just might have been a lead pipe wrapped in poster.
The Broderick special. Broderick was an old-timey cop back in the day. I forget his last name. Who his whole thing was, he would beat up criminals with a newspaper that had a pipe in it. And when the criminals were complaining, it's like, I was just smacking around with a newspaper. I don't know what he's complaining about.
Yeah, like literally looked just like this. I'll roll it up, do like this,
Oh,
and
oh.
then whack.
His other favorite thing to do was throw criminals through windows and then arrest them for for public property destruction.
You know what? They were already criminals. What's an extra charge or 3?
What do you think they were getting off light if that's all he was doing to them?
Yeah. Especially when the follow-up is lead pipe. Oh gosh.
I feel like lead pipe was step 0, actually.
You right.
Oh, okay, boy. Now here's the thing. You see, I wrapped you up a little with this here newspaper. If I find out you did this again, next time I won't be so gentle. You hear?
Basic. The next is out the window on the second story window.
No, it's in the window. If anything, it's in the window onto some poor barista's table.
Dang, the poor barista. He just trying to get through the day.
Just sees him walking by. Oh no, it's Broderick again. What's he gonna do this time?
Yeah, I appreciate that you always make sure that the window gets repaired after you cause the perpetrator to destroy our window, but can you just not?
Ugh, honestly, I might be able to do that old-timey American voice next time I had to do a character.
Oh boy.
I might have to make a private eye that isn't named Helena.
Sounds
Carry,
amazing.
carry on. I have things to do tomorrow with Helena.
Ayo. Stars. I see stars.
へい。シロの腕で私に当てようなんて甘いわよ。悔しかったらもうちょっと腕を磨きなさいね。
Dang, this tiger's got claws.
そんな問題じゃないだろう今の。なぜに紙のポスターがかような破壊音を。
Did she manage some sort of technique only a true poster master can execute?
That 5th degree black belt in Kendo.
ごめん。こっちのポスター、初回特典版なんで豪華鉄板仕様だった。
Excuse me?
That's what I'm saying.
And then you just gonna casually whack a child with that? In the head at that? Lord have mercy.
I'm sure it's not the first time she's whacked him in the head, but I don't think it's been with this.
いつか絶対に人を殺すぞ。その性格。
えへへ、その時はシローがお嫁にもらってくれるから安
は
心かな。
はは
Uh-huh. I don't know
Man,
how
he
you
is
arrived at that conclusion, but uh-huh.
he is 17, ma'am.
全速でお断りです。そんな天然殺人鬼の相方にもらう
Kotolani
気は
death,
ない
he said.
うん、私そんな物騒なのじゃないと思う。
Not that violent, she says.
Implying that you understand that you are a violent person.
やっぱり得てしてそういう連中は自覚がないっていうのは本当だったのか。
Pray that I survive.
I think prayer is beyond you, bro.
Broke the fourth wall just to request prayer. That's how you know it's bad. I'll have to be very careful from now on if I'm going to have any hope of avoiding being murdered.
ふんだ、行ってなさい。そんなことよりシロ、私お腹減った。今まで待ってたんだから早くご飯の用意しよ
う。Fujine gets up. What's up with Fujine? She must be really hungry if she's offering to help. Even if it's just help setting the table.
はいはい。じゃあ藤姉は皿と茶碗な。ご飯ぐらい告げるだろ。
Imagine that being in question.
Imagine that being the bar.
Yeah.
う。告げるよ。ねえシロ、私丼でいいかな。
I have an awful feeling.
All right, we made this pot of rice. The entire pot going in this one big bowl. Just the obscenely large bowl you mentioned earlier.
いいんじゃないか。今日はさくらもいないし、どうせ飯は余
Okay,
るし。
okay. How is this going to go badly?
よしよし。それじゃ、シロもお揃いね。
Fujine scoots mounds of rice into the two large bowls. Whatever, I was going to go for a second helping anyway, and if I meddle in what Fujine does now, we may really not have any dinner. Besides, this is the kind of chaotic scene dinner at my house has been for years. At least you're used to it. Another day ends. We finish our rowdy dinner, and after I see off Fujine, I take a bath. After that, I head to the shed for my daily training. I complete it as usual, then go to sleep. It's 1 o'clock in the morning.
That's a safe time to be asleep, especially at a time without screens. I remember in the sequel novel, they someone gets him a phone, and they're like, "How come you never answer any calls?" It's like, "Oh, my phone, I leave that thing at home usually."
Oh my gosh, reminds me of my graduation from college. For whatever reason, I was in such a hurry going out the door that I ended up leaving my phone at home. So therefore I didn't realize until I was like already there, already seated. And I'm like, oh shoot, how am I going to find like any of my family afterwards? Thankfully I knew their numbers, therefore I was able to just go and punch it in. Like ask a friend to borrow their phone and track them down, but it's like, wow, how do you fumble such a thing? That saves the game. I think we'll
We'll
call it.
finish next time.
Yeah. And then we'll
Or at least
actually get to see the new master join the fray.
indeed. White woman spotted, if you would.
Runs for the hills.
Well, technically the white woman was like day one, right?
True.
Gosh,
Uh,
they legit went straight for just saying big brother, huh?
mm-hmm. All right, and then that's where we're going to start. Or, yeah, start next time. Stop today. Good night to the peoples.
Good night, everybody.
Oh, I do not want a quick load. This button. No, that button. This one.
Yoink.
Back to title. And with that, good night.